What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be installing Wisefab. I just got it in the mail, so I'm going to be reading through the instructions a little bit. I literally just opened it, so everything looks really nice. Looks like all the parts are there. There's a couple washers and stuff like that that look kind of confusing to do, but I think I just got to look at the instructions and go over them. So this is the V2 kit. So it's got the, angled, I don't know, subframe mount, I guess you could call it. It's got the adjustable lock stops on the end, which it does say they recommend to still run like a rack limiter, so I'll probably run the ones that I make. If you didn't know I made them, I'll put a link in the video or something if you want to go buy them. They're like 20 bucks. They're little like aluminum spacers. These are the outer tie rods. They just look nice. I think I can only use regular E46 inners instead of like a different style. I think these are some maybe Ackerman shims or something. I gotta read the instructions. But left and right side, all these bolts are kind of just already pre-put on here. But yeah, I'll kind of like loosely assemble it real quick just to see how it actually like all fits together. These are like your rear mounts. Typically like you have a bushing or something, but this is obviously a Heim joint. Something cool they have is like a little spacer here. So, if you would just have a normal threaded hole here, this could probably gall up and eventually be a little hard to adjust like at the track or something. But so they have a split design here where you put this bolt in. Well, if you'd over tighten that, then you could probably like deform this metal where it won't spring back, and then you're not going to actually have any adjustments. So they have these little spacers, one for either side, and they just kind of drop in there, so that way when you clamp this together, you can only clamp it that much and it won't actually deform this bigger piece enough where it's not going to like flex back, so you still have that adjustability. So that was kind of cool. The upper mounts look really nice. Nothing too special about them, I guess. I mean, I'm sure there's some special wizardry, but they just look like top mounts to me. I gotta figure out how to actually drill them on there. I know I saw a video you could like flip them upside down and then just kind of mark a hole through this and then run it that way. Other side's obviously the same. It does have like a provision for a sway bar pickup, so I can probably take the sway bar mounts I had last year and just run it through there. But this is like the cool thing and why I wanted this one. I have more room over here. So this joint that goes to the like the front subframe, it's got this like a hex key down here. Hex key, it's got a little nut on it. So, well, I guess it's a bolt. Basically, take that out, and then if this is staying up in the subframe, that stays there, and then you can just drop this arm right off, which is nice for making repairs. I don't have any spares, so that doesn't really matter. But the big thing for me was being able to hold the bottom here and tighten it, or sorry, hold the nut at the top with a wrench and then tighten the bottom with the Allen key, because in my car, like I said earlier, it's really hard to actually get up in there with a tool because of the engine swap. I can actually get to it on this side. It's a lot easier to get a tool access. I got like a little flexible wrench down there, but this side is the hard one where I got the oil filter in the way, and then these like coolant lines that come off here for the engine oil cooler. So, and then the header's right there. So there's really not much room on this side, and that's the big benefit. And then this is the sway bar mount that I'll be able to just put on the other one. Alright, so after reading the instructions, it was a little confusing at first, but I'll just kind of walk you through it. They have different instructions if you have E36, E46, or E46M. If you're obviously swapping knuckles and stuff, that's gonna change it, change it up. I'm still using the E46 non-M front knuckles. A lot of people swap to E36 knuckles, which I also have, which this will still work on. I'm just going to try the E46 ones first, see what I can change with the different adjustments, and then maybe swap to E36 ones just to try it out. But I'll show you what, basically, if you're running exactly what I have, just regular E46 knuckles, I'll show you what you need to do. Alright, so you're going to get this little baggie here. These are only for E46M, from what I've gathered from the manual anyways. So these little spacers, these little dowels, don't need those, so I'm just gonna set them there for now. But so this is the passenger side that I kind of loosely assembled here. It's got an R on it for right hand side, so that's pretty obvious. The part number faces up. You're gonna have right here where your Ackerman spacers are. So I just took those out of here. There's like this square slot. This is where you'll stack your Ackerman washers. So they have little part numbers on there. Might be hard to see here if I zoom in. It's kind of like etched in there. So this one has 104. So this one is basically the medium Ackerman setup. So it's not parallel, it's not like full positive or whatever, but I'm just gonna try it just because it was the middle option. There's some videos out there of what to actually do, but they're super easy to change. You literally just take this nut off and then just swap them out. And what they do is they actually go into like this slot in the bottom. So these fit in this slot like that. So they go into this slot here. Certain way, just like that. So depending on, you know, what setting you have, this hole is going to change. So the ones I have right now, the hole is like perfectly in the center. You can also take this and flip it the other direction like this and put it in, and the instructions call out what that all means. And then also, if you make these changes, those also are like reference to amount of turns on the tie rod to maintain your alignment. So theoretically, you can make a Ackerman change without having to, like, you know, pull the strings out or something for like quick changes. So again, mine are perfectly centered in the center of the plate. They're gonna go in from the bottom like this, and then the nut and bolt. Alright, so we are on the passenger side here. I didn't do the top mount yet, but I can show you how this works. So basically, part number up, like I said, it's gonna go right on those two mounts on the stock knuckle. And then real quick to show you, in case you ever like get these out and you don't know which one goes where, I believe they're actually the same. So I don't think it really matters which one goes where, just as long as you remember to have the, you know, the stacked washers on this front one here. It'll go like that. These are going to be a 3/4 or a 19 mil, whatever socket you want to use. You're going to have to hold it top and bottom. But you want to make sure when you're tightening is that you have it all the way up when you're tightening it, and you got to make sure that these washers here are actually like centered on there. Otherwise, it's going to be all. So you can see how those washers go inside that little lip there. You just want to make sure that that's in there, and they do have to actually be offset to like the back, like the offset will be on this side, otherwise you can't get the bolt in. So with these lower mounts, they're just gonna go up just like the factory ones go. I don't know exactly where to put this at, but I can always just pull it off like I said earlier when I'm doing like my alignment. There's some recommended alignment settings. I think it was like 6 degrees of caster they recommended. So I'm just gonna put this at like, I don't know, 3 threads out. Sorry, 3 threads out down there, and we'll just see how it is. These, by the way, are 8mm, so if you get like a little Craftsman set or something like this, there's an 8mm socket. Ignore my ugly header collector there. So these will just slide in that. And then I gotta put this up in there, which is a little hard to do on camera, so I'll just do that real quick. Alright, so that's loosely up in there now. But I need to tighten it, so I've used this before. It's just like a crow's foot. 7/8 inch is what you'll need, but it's got a flex head on it, so it's nice. You can kind of just set it up in there like this. It goes right over it, and then it's a lot easier to hold instead of having your arm up in the engine bay. I mean, but yeah, that's the nut right there we're talking about. So I'm gonna tighten this down, and again, it's another 8mm down at the bottom here. All right, now we got that tightened up. Again, I'm going to put Loctite on everything. I just wanted to get it in first, and then I'll one by one take the nuts off, Loctite them, just so I know everything's good before I lock it down for good. So there's this single black bolt here. It's going to go up through the bottom. I'm going to go into this spot right here on this knuckle adapter. You'll see there's like a countersunk hole right here, like washer fits into, so it's a super tight fit. Everything so far has been going good. Alright, so we got that bolt in. That's a 7/8 socket. Earlier I said this is also a 10mm. Or I said it was an 8, it's actually a 10mm. And then the last thing is this lock stop. So the more dots, the more it's going to limit angle. And you got to put it towards the back. So there's obviously this piece here, this little elbow that sticks out. So the more pieces you have, you can see it's kind of oblong. The more you have, the more it's going to limit angle, and then this is obviously less angle. So Yeah, this kit's definitely gonna have a lot of angle to it, so I mean I'll just set it there for the least amount of angle for now, and then we can adjust it after. Alright, so lock stop's on. So I attached the outer tie rod. I don't know if these inner tie rods will work. I don't even remember what I have here. I think they're like extended ones, or maybe they're just stock E46 ones, but this is pretty self-explanatory. You just connect these. Alright, so we got the top mount on here. What I'm gonna have to do is put like a slot in here, that way you can actually adjust it, because right now obviously with the damper adjustment sticking through, you can't actually, you know, move this side to side. So I'm gonna have to figure out, you know, this is the max to the one side, max to the other side, so I'll have to take the coilover off again and just kind of spin the mount, and then, or I can actually use the other mount and just do it that way, but there'll be another spot here, and then this will be like a slot. So that's what I need to do. I didn't really get video of the process of doing it, but basically you just take the top mount without a coilover on it, you hold it up to the bottom side. The top, or the driver's side, you can probably hold here, but because I have the battery like stud here, it was a little hard to do. So basically you just set the mount. You take your mount, in the instructions it says which way is like recommended, but all you really need to do is put the mount here in whichever, you know, side. So this will be to the front, like that is what it recommended, and then you just take like a center punch or something and mark the center of that, and then that's where your hole's going to be. And then just do like a little pilot hole and then drill with like a big step bit. So that's how I got that hole through there. I got to do a lot more setup stuff. The tie rods are the wrong ones on the inside. I have to get factory E46 tie rods, and then yeah, we'll see, because right now the steering wheel's straight, so I gotta figure that out, but nothing wrong with the kit. I don't have the right tie rods. Alright, well, thanks for watching. This was pretty quick of a video, but I just wanted to put together exactly how I put together the Wisefab kit. I haven't seen any other videos really going into detail. There are a couple out there, but this is just another one to help you guys out with doing installation, or maybe if you just wanted to learn about the kit. So yeah, next I gotta do these like side skirts, or I guess rocker panels, because mine are really damaged, so I have to replace them. And underneath this, it's actually rusted out on mine, like underneath this, so I don't know if I'll do a video of that, because it's just gonna be like rust repair, but maybe I will, in case, you know, people find it interesting. So yeah, let me know what you think, and this is pretty much all we have. So thanks, bye.